will be pleasantly surprised. There we go. The broadcast is live. What's up, y'all? John Melton coming to you live with mylifestyleacademy.com with another episode of hashtag Money Monday. Let's make it rain up in here. I've got Jordan Levesque on today, and I'm so excited because not only is she a network marketing superstar, not only has she built a phenomenal, very profitable business from home while being a mom, being a wife, being a boss, doing all the things, being a leader. She's got great energy. She always brings the fire. Drop some flame emojis if you know Jordan and you love her like we do. But the exciting thing is she got on TikTok literally less than a year ago. And like most of us, she was probably on there before that, but just was like not interested, not her thing, wasn't sure if she could do these short form videos that everybody else was doing. That wasn't her style. That wasn't her thing. But then eventually she said, you know what, let me just try this out. I'm just going to talk to the camera. And literally within 10 months, had over 1 million followers. Now, how many of us would agree if you could have a following of even 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers, like that would probably help your business. You would have a few more people to talk to about your products and your opportunity. So imagine having over 1 million and literally in 10 months. It wasn't like she was an influencer on another platform. It wasn't like she had some huge following from somewhere else that she brought over to TikTok. No, she started out downloading the app just like anybody else going, I don't know about this thing. I don't dance. This ain't for me. And within a very short period of time, she was able to body slam it. So I'm excited because a couple things. Number one, we're going to be doing a giveaway today. We're going to randomly pick some of you that are tagging people that are sharing this. Now, I know we're live in a couple different groups and we're live on YouTube. So the people that have the best chance of winning are probably going to be the ones. Actually, I guess you could tag people in any group, but we're going to be live also on my profile and on our business page. So we're like live all over the place. And I'm just really excited for you to hear from Jordan, and definitely share, definitely tag people that you know that would love to generate leads and sales from TikTok, from Reels, from short form videos. Maybe they would like to build a following of 1 million people one day. So I'm excited for you to hear her story and hear how she did it. And then I'll ask her some questions, have her share some of her goodness. She's also starting a 5-day challenge. How many of you love to be a part of a challenge with like others that are trying to do the same thing you're trying to do? There's a lot of collaboration and just energy and fire and excitement when you're working together with other people. But she's got a challenge that's starting today. I know everybody in here loves a good challenge. I know the people that follow us love a challenge because we're rolling out challenges all the time, promoting other people doing challenges, you know, because it really holds your feet to the fire, hold you accountable. And I've been doing this for over 20 years now. I've never seen anything better than short form videos for lead generation, for selling, for building a following. And I think the neat thing is anybody can do it. Anybody can master this skill. And if you don't have it figured out yet, the good news is you can learn, just like Jordan learned, just like I had to learn. So Jordan, I'm excited to have you on. Welcome to the show and appreciate you being here.
Thanks, John.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, J Money. You want to know what's actually really funny is kind of John is the reason I'm on TikTok, kind of. Like I had an account before, like he said, but I really didn't. I think like the only video on there was like a video of me doing a baby shark dance with my toddler, or like maybe a couple other random ones. I wasn't trying to do it to sell products. I wasn't trying to do it to like recruit people or anything like that. So it wasn't even a thing for me. And exactly like John said, I think one of the biggest reasons why people are resistant to it is because, well, there's several, but number one, they think that you have to be like a certain type of person. Like that you have to be, this is what I thought. You had to be like one of those just like super hot young girls that was just doing dance moves all the time. And I was like, I can't do that. Like it's a commonly known thing that I dance like a white dad at a barbecue and I'm like a little bit awkward. So I was like, John was like, Jordan, you need to get on TikTok. And Nadi was like, Jordan, you need to get on TikTok. And I was like, yeah, I know, I will. And I just didn't want to do it. So then I started seeing all these people crushing the platform. I started seeing people get hundreds or thousands of customers. I started seeing people like recruiting like crazy. And I was like, okay, well, you got my attention. So I'm going to try and figure this out. And I kind of sucked at it at first. I'm going to be totally honest with you, but I became obsessed with it because I'm someone that's like, if I'm going to figure something out, I'm going to obsess over it. And yeah, it grew like crazy. Like I've gotten over 4,000 customers using mostly 15-second videos, which is insane to think about. Like, so if you're
But hold on,
resistant to
let's
it,
just say that again. 4,000 customers by yourself. Like that's not team customer. That's you, right? In 10 months.
yeah, yeah. I had to, I was like, I had to figure out the number because Brian Fryer asked. So I was in my back office, like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And it would say each 1,000. I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, like you guys, this is why you need to not be afraid of it, is because think about this. If you had told me 8 years ago when I started this industry that there was a platform where you could get in front of like hundreds or thousands of people,
strangers,
people that don't know you, for free, or millions of people for free, I would still be like, take my money, but it's free. So you guys need to stop being skeptical of this platform. It's not something that's just for teenagers. It's not something where you have to be a certain age group. There are people of literally every age group. And I am really bad at technology. And it's actually really simple. It is not as hard as you think. It just takes like, messing up a little bit. But so you need to stop being resistant to TikTok and Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels, like all short form video, because yeah, it's totally changed my business. I sell anywhere from 20 to 90,000 personally per month using these videos. They're like, is that not crazy? So yeah. So do you guys want me to teach you some stuff and some things today? We'll see some hearts on this video if you want to learn.
Yeah, let's smash that heart button, y'all. Show Jordan some love.
Yeah. So John, do you have any questions for me? Because John was like, John would not let me prepare for this. He said, we're just going to talk. And I said, okay, fine.
Yeah, I mean,
you go ahead.
I think what would be really good to start off, because, we've had a lot of trainings on TikTok and Reels. And I think more and more people are getting on board with it. But like the thing too is like there's so many opinions, right? There's like, the opinion like, oh, you should post 3 times a day and just throw stuff up there, see what happens, which isn't bad advice. There's also people that are like my wife Nadia, right? Nadia is going to make sure, like, she's going to post something, it's going to be good quality, like she takes time to edit it, makes it look really good. And it's definitely effective because we've generated a lot of leads. We've recruited, we've sold product, we've done all the things from short form videos. And I've had people literally say, oh my gosh, I've been looking for something, started watching your videos, you and your wife. And I just want to meet you guys. I want to work with you guys. I don't even know what the heck you do. Right. So it's definitely effective. Right. But we all have our own style. So I would love to hear, what is your opinion on how often should you post? How do you figure out what you should post? That's like a common thing. Like, what do I talk about? How do I, start doing it? Because obviously once you start to figure that stuff out, like those basics, it actually becomes, like you said, addicting. It's like so fun. And you're starting to think like a marketer and not just a, content consumer. You become a content creator. So what would be your opinion in regards to how often should you post? And what's your opinion on, kind of figuring out what to talk about or how to show up?
Okay. So that's a good question. And it this is what I'm going to be totally transparent with you guys about. I think there's 1,000 different ways to skin a cat. It's kind of a gross saying, but there's so many different ways you can do it. So there's going to be like an expert next week that tells you something totally different. And I think it kind of depends on the person. Here's the truth though, like with anything you're doing, consistency is the most important part, right? Consistency beats intensity every time. So if for you, it's easy and you can stick to getting up 3 videos per week, then get up 3 videos per week. Whatever you can stick to is going to be the best thing, because if you're just going to go hard for 1 week or 1 month, but then you burn out, you exhaust yourself and you quit doing it, you're not going to get results. So you have to pick a number that works. And I think having a number is really important. In the beginning, I will say I was doing 1 per day, but I would record them all on 1 day and then post them, right?
Do you still do that?
I was doing 1 per day.
Do you still batch create?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
And also I do like a little challenge with myself sometimes. Like for example, I just did it. I literally just did it. If I have something that I'm about to do, like there's like 15 minutes before or 30 minutes before, and I'm like, oh, I don't have anything to do right now. I'm like, oh, I'm going to make a video really quick. Like how quickly can I just throw a video together and just put it up? So sometimes I do that too. I'll do like one-off randomly, or if I see a good idea. But it's like using your time well. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you have an extra 5 or 10 minutes, like, okay, let's really quickly make one. But yeah, so in the beginning, I did 1 per day. Now, typically on TikTok, it's actually more like 1 per week. But I still am continuing to grow, but because that's maintainable for me right now. And I still get results over there. And now I'm also diving in more to like Facebook Reels. So and I'm trying to like master this platform now. But the cool thing is you can make a video in one place. In my opinion, TikTok is the best editing platform. So you can make a video there, like hands down, it's the best. And then you can use it on different platforms. You can use it on Facebook Reels. You can use it on Instagram Reels. So it's, yeah.
My understanding is TikTok's the best. Then there's a lot of people I have talked to, actually, they make their videos on Instagram Reels, and everybody says Facebook Reels is the worst. But it makes sense because that's the newest, short form video platform. So it makes sense that it would be the worst to edit or create a video there. But most people, I would say 80 to 90% of people I talk to, they make it on TikTok, and then you can repurpose it. And the neat thing is you don't have to like post it on TikTok and then post it on Facebook Reels right away. I mean, you could honestly, like, we've been posting a lot of our TikToks from over a year ago onto Facebook Reels, and some of them still go viral and blow up, even though they're older videos. And that's really the neat thing about this, that you can, if you have good videos, you can rotate them and use them over and over again on the same platform and on different platforms. It's powerful.
Yeah, it's crazy. I actually did a post about this, I think, in one of a couple of our team pages, but I was like, there was this video. So I was actually with John and Nadia at that beach house in Florida he's at right now.
Yep.
And that's when I got Facebook Reels. We all like got Facebook Reels at the same time. We were so excited.
That's right.
Like, we're gonna put up videos.
Yeah.
So I took a video from TikTok and I posted it, and it even had the TikTok watermark. Like, what the heck? It got 1 million views. That video on TikTok, and I have 1 million followers, got like 20,000 views. So it is, and then on Instagram, I got like 1,800. So it's like one video will perform so crazy different on different platforms. There's like different age groups, different people with different interests, whatever. So it's actually, you are losing money. You are throwing money away if you're not putting your video on all three, because why not? You're working smarter, not harder, and they respond so differently. It's so crazy.
And then how often do you feel like you're actually promoting your products out of, let's say 10 videos?
Yeah. So again, this is another one of those things that's like, dude, so someone is going to tell you something totally different. And there are people who sell even more than I do, and they promote more, but I get more followers because I put a lot more value than I do promotion on TikTok. So for me, it's anywhere from like 1 out of every 5 or 1 out of every 7 is promotion. You can kind of like combine, meaning you can make it a value video, and then in the comments, you can pin a comment that gives them a next step. Yeah. Like, oh, by the way, for my free guide, check out my site, whatever. So it's kind of like multi-purpose. But the more I do like value videos where I'm teaching people something, where I'm helping them, the more followers I get. And then they're in my marketing ecosystem, so that when they see that sales video, or if they grab one of my free downloads, then I can continue to nurture that lead. I can continue to connect with them. And the conversion is higher, and they order longer versus someone who, like you and I talked about this, John, versus someone who is like promote. They might get people who like buy right away, but if they're not building that relationship and nurturing it, then they might only buy one time. So in my opinion, I like to do a lot more value than direct promotion videos.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of messing around with it a little bit on Facebook Reels and doing more direct promotion just for fun, just to see what happens.
Well, it's good, right? You always have to test things out. I think you hit the nail on the head. And this is what I say all the time too. It's like, there's not just this one way to do it. You have to figure out what works best for you. Some people are posting 3 times a day. Some people go live on TikTok for like 3 hours and just sitting there, just answering questions and closing prospects and enrolling customers. You have to figure out how you want to go about doing it. But I am a big fan. I'm always a big fan of leading with value, leading with education, kind of like this training right here. Like any training I do, how many of you have been following me, been following Nadia or Jordan for that matter? And you follow us because you learn from us, you get value from us. And when we do promote something that has a cost, you're way more likely to do business with the person that you're learning from, that, maybe even connected with you and build a relationship with you. Now, of course, when you have a big following on a platform, it's harder and harder to connect with people. But again, if you're leading with value, you're going to build something that stands the test of time. You're going to have a better reputation. There's nothing wrong with selling. There's nothing wrong with promoting the products, especially if you really believe in your products. Of course, you should promote them. But if that's all you do, you're probably going to struggle with retention, with building up those relationships, because people feel like you're only trying to get from them versus give to them. So I think that's a really good piece of advice. And I actually have these conversations all the time because it is a more recent thing that we can just literally show up on social media and sell our products. That's not how it used to be. That used to be like a major no-no, but now it does seem easier. In fact, some of the most viral videos I've seen are videos where we're promoting products. Yep. So it's awesome. But with that being said, I still believe you need to lead with value. You need to lead with telling your story, sharing other people's stories, sharing tips and advice and inspiring and educating. All of that is still gonna be the way forward to build a following. And when you have a following of 1 million people, or even a fraction of that, there's way more likelihood of you never having to worry about prospecting people. Isn't that the best part? And you have people in your inbox, people, reaching out to you, requesting information, and then you're hiring a team to help you with all the leads coming in because you can't even keep up. Like, how many of us smash the hard button if you want that positive problem where you don't have time to prospect or even really follow up with people because you have so many people reaching out to you, asking you for information. Like, that's really the whole point of doing this.
Yeah, that's what short form videos do. And so you also asked, you said, how do you find what you should make your videos about? So to answer that question a little bit. So number one, actually, I will tell you guys, one of the biggest mistakes, and I hear people say this all the freaking time, and I need you to stop saying it. They're like, oh, I'm not creative. Or I can't come up with video ideas. No. You are making a mistake if you think you're supposed to sit around and think of ideas. If you're supposed to sit around and make a list. No, actually, I will say this, make a list of the pain points that your product or service solves. That's the list you should make. Make a list of the problems you had before you found the solution, which is your product or service. Like John Milton says all the time, entrepreneurs are professional problem solvers, right? So what does your product, what does your business solve for other people? What pain points did you have? Did you feel like you couldn't go, this was one of mine, right? I felt like I couldn't go shopping. I would break down crying in dressing rooms because I didn't feel confident in my clothes. I didn't feel like I had a baby. I didn't feel like the same version of me. I had really low self-esteem. What were the pain points that you had before you found this solution? So your goal is to help people solve those pain points, right? And to teach them. You don't have to be creative though. If you have this list, you learn from other people, learn from people who are already crushing it. The best thing you can do is be like, okay, who in my company is crushing TikTok and Reels? Or who in my industry is crushing TikTok and Reels? Follow them, study them, follow me, follow John, follow anyone you see that is selling on TikTok and making big things happen, because you can learn from their videos. You can save them to recreate. Now, I'm not telling you to copy people. You shouldn't copy people. That is tacky. You shouldn't word for word. If someone is the other day, my doctor said that, don't do that. Okay. But get inspiration from their videos and think about, how can I take that idea and put the you effect? How can I put my personality, my story, my niche, my industry, right? And then you recreate it with your own spin. So literally, you don't have to figure out what to make. Just instead of just consuming content when you're on the app, be super intentional and be looking for content that you could recreate, but about your niche, with your personality, with your story. Does that make sense? So number one is, that's how you do it. You learn from people who are already doing it. You don't have to figure it all out. You're going to spend a lot of time, you're going to waste a lot of time trying to do that. And then number two, what John talks about all the time, is you need to know your ideal audience and help them solve their problems.
Right.
So we are professional problem solvers, right? So if you can show up and you can help your ideal customer solve the same problem that your product or service solves. It doesn't have to be that. It could be, you're giving moms tips. It could be whoever you are, you're helping them solve that problem. But I like to do it I sell supplements, right? So I like to teach people how to lose weight because that's something that my supplements help people do. So that's an example. It could also be something pertaining to your industry. If you sell makeup, could you help people learn how to do makeup quick? Could you give them little makeup hacks? If you're in the financial industry, can you give them financial tips, right? There's so many ways you can do this. You can teach about gut health, you can teach about nutrition, but that's my favorite way to do it. And then you provide value in that area, right? So then if they're like, oh, Jordan has been teaching me how to lose weight for free, and then she's suggesting this supplement, I want to buy that from her. Or if they're like, you know what, I have an issue in that area, I want to lose weight, or I want to whatever, they'll think of you when they think of that problem. And so they will come to you to ask for help. You're
That's right.
positioning yourself as an expert, and you don't have to know everything to be an expert. That's another thing. People are like,
Yeah.
I am a nutritionist and a personal trainer. So people be like, yeah, but you're like an expert. I'm like, yes, I literally am an expert, but you're overthinking this because you can go to Google and you can be like, how do you sleep better at night? And then you make a video that's like, here's 5 tips to sleep better. And you put music in the background and you point to the tips. Like, that's value. So all you have to do is know just a tiny bit more than the person who saw that video and help them solve
That's right.
the
You took that
problem and see
extra
you as an
step.
expert.
You took that extra step and you hit up Google. A lot of people won't even do that, right? They'd rather ask you, well, how do you do it? Be like, did you Google? That's fine. I'll be your Google. I will be your Google. Hey, Desi, can we pick some winners for her challenge also? Maybe let's pick 2 winners, people that are sharing and tagging. And just so you guys know, this challenge starts today. This is a 5-day viral short form video challenge that Jordan is doing. It's a $17 cost. And I am telling you, you are going to want to be a part of it because she's going to give you training, tips, everything you need to be successful in the next 5 days, creating your first viral video. Go to mylifestyleacademy.com/viral, mylifestyleacademy.com/viral. I think maybe Desi, you could put the link on the screen, and then let's also pick a couple winners as well. But Jordan, I would love to know, because this is also a very normal question that I'm sure you get to from your teammates. What do you do? Like, let's say you're promoting your product or people are requesting information. What is your step to get them from I'm interested to buying the product? Do you drive them to your bio? What do you do?
So, I actually teach about this in my masterclass as well. So like there's the challenge, and then on the next page, there's a masterclass. John Melton is a part of that. Well, not Bryn, but Bryn is gonna be sharing about it too. But a lot of people that you guys know, Ray Higdon, Fraser Brooks, Michelle Cunningham, Brian Fryer, just to name a few of the amazing humans. But I do teach about that in there a little bit. So I'll briefly cover, because it's kind of a loaded subject. Like, there are so many different ways you can take someone from, I don't know, whether they're commenting or they're messaging you or whatever, to signing up, and it's going to look different. So one of the most important things you need to understand is what we always talk about, right? The fortune is in the follow-up. So ultimately, you need to look at videos as a way to not go viral. You need to not think, I want to go viral, I want to get a ton of customers, I want to get a ton of marketers, because you're having that mindset of what John was saying earlier, what's in it for me. Right. You need to have the mindset of what's in it for them. Why should they follow you? How can you help them? So the most important thing is to understand that's not your goal. You're not trying to go viral. You're not trying to get customers. You're trying to get leads. You're trying to get in front of more people, so then you can nurture those leads and you can follow up with them. So there's so many ways you can do this. That's why I'm like, this would be like a 5-part training. Like, you can use Project Broadcast, which is a text messaging service, where if you had like a milkshake, which is a free app you can use to set up your own little page that has your links on it, like a link to your supplement, a link to a free download you have, etc. You can put text a word to your Project Broadcast number, and Project Broadcast is also an app. It's a text messaging service, to enter for my giveaway, right? That's one way to do it. Text free or text training to this number to get my free weight loss download. And then you create a weight loss like download in Canva, and then they text the number, and you set a keyword response in Project Broadcast, which means when they type that word, they'll automatically get a response. You'd be like, hey friend, so excited for you. You wanted more info about how to lose weight. Here's a free download. And then maybe at the end of the download, you say, oh, by the way, my favorite supplement to suggest is blah, blah, blah. Here's a $10 off coupon, right? You don't have to do that. But so that's one way that you can collect leads, and then you can send them tips. You can send them free tips about how to lose weight. Like, hey, hope you're having a good Wednesday. Here's a recipe I just found that helps you stay full longer if you're trying to lose weight, right? By the way, there's actually a sale going on right now on my supplement that I suggest to help you lose fat faster. You want some more info, right? So you can nurture those leads. That's just one way you can do it, and systemize it too. But you can also do it in just normal conversations. You can be consultative. You can ask them, what are your goals? Like, you might have a different industry than me, but for me, it'll be like, what are your health goals and what are your biggest struggles with reaching those goals? And then I shut my mouth and I listen. And then they tell me what their goals are. And then based on what they tell me, I provide a solution, right? So let's say they're like, I want to lose weight. I struggle with having cravings, having this, having that. You want to listen to them and be consultative, And then based on what they say, you offer what would make the most sense for them. Okay. There's sales psychology behind this too. Because when you say, what do you struggle with? And they say this, and then you respond, you say, okay, I can definitely help you with that. Here's what I would suggest. They'll be like, oh yeah, I just said that was a problem. And she said she has a solution. I need that thing. Right. So that's how I do it. Personal conversations. I actually have a VA that helps too, because it gets really hard to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
And then systems on the back end like that, like using Milkshake, like using Project Rocket, all stuff I teach about in detail in the course. Like it goes right in my phone and shows you if you're not good at technology like me. But it's like, guys, it's just insane how many people you can get in front of and how many people you can help. You could literally physically never get in front of or have conversations with as many people as you can using these videos. So it's just incredible.
Well, it's cool too, because, I mean, how many of us, drop it to the comments, let me know, how many of you got involved in your network marketing company and like, you're on like your 6th, or, you've been in your network marketing company for 6 years and your warm market is shot. Like whether you're brand new in a company and you've been in a bunch, or whether you like most people, like I know when I got started 20 years ago, like I didn't have credibility. I didn't have like a big, network of like business minded people or people that had money, people that cared about being healthy. You might say, your people didn't care about being healthy. Dude, when you're 20 years old and most of your friends are in their 20s, early 20s, they don't care about like health. It's not what you're thinking about when you think you're invincible when you're like 19, 20, 21. So, thank God for cold market. Now back then, the thing that sucked about cold market is we had to call people on the phone and invite them to a meeting. They thought it was an interview. Surprise, it's a group presentation. So that was not fun, but at least I had people to talk to. I never had to worry about finding people to talk to. Now, because of the interwebs, we can leverage these social platforms to build a brand, build a following, build an audience. We've been teaching it for almost 10 years now. Attraction marketing, magnetic sponsoring by Mike Dillard blew my mind 10 years ago, and following Ray Higdon and Chalene Johnson and all these Gary Vaynerchuk, all these gurus that were talking about marketing and generating leads. But the problem was, YouTube was complicated. Facebook was great, but it was still really tough to get in front of like a cold audience back then. Even when Facebook Live came out. Now we did have Periscope. Periscope was the first time I ever had like a real opportunity to get in front of like a cold audience and saw the power of building a brand and putting yourself out there. But with that being said, that went away. These short form videos, like they're what I like about them is that they're very duplicatable and there's so many ways you can do it. So like Jordan said, it's not just this like one way to generate leads, build a following. In fact, I got people on my team, they've never had a viral video and they're crushing it because they're connecting with people on the back end. They're building those relationships. And the one downside of going viral and building a big following is you're going to have a lot of people that just slip through the cracks, because it's too many people for you to filter. Even if you have a VA, even if you have 6 VAs, like it's hard to connect with every person. So the neat thing is, for those of you that haven't gone viral, number one, you should do this challenge, mylifestyleacademy.com/viral, to get registered for the challenge and even maybe do the masterclass if you're really serious. But the second thing is that you have the ability to connect with people. Like even if you just get 5 leads this week, 5 people just like one of your videos, 5 people that you don't know, those are 5 new people, and you never know what they could lead to. But it all starts with you showing up and putting yourself out there and challenging yourself to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So Jordan, I definitely appreciate the insights. I love these ideas. I get so excited talking about short form videos, especially when I see what you've created in a short period of time. So Desi, I'm not sure how you're picking the winners, but maybe we can announce a couple people that'll get the challenge for free. I think that would be super cool if we can announce a couple people. And then Jordan, any other tips, any other things you want to share in regards to the challenge or anything else that you think would be beneficial for the people watching?
Okay. So yes, I do. Okay. How about this? I will share with you like an example video idea. Because another really important thing I think is, and you teach about this because you teach about marketing all the time, but you should be sharing stories, not products. Okay. So like what people do that is not good and it totally repels people, like a bad video would be like, hi, this is my product and it is called Unicorn Magic Sauce. And it has this ingredient and this ingredient and this ingredient. And it is on sale right now if you need it, right? That's extremely exaggerated. Like you might not have a video like that. Okay. That's pretty bad. I'm not making fun of you if you do. Like I was the spammiest of all the spammy buttholes. I did not do well, but that repels people. And again, it's like, what's in it for me? So instead, you need to be thinking about like, how can I share my story, right, in a way that helps people? So this is the framework, you guys, that I use over and over again when I'm making videos about my product or business is before, number one, before, pain point and solution, call to action. Okay. It's like it's not the viral framework, but it's like the selling framework. Okay. That's literally what I do. So before, pain point and solution, call to action. So an example, I'm going to give you guys a literal example of a video that one of the girls that I mentor made. If you say something like, I was stuck at 200 pounds, okay? And after having my daughter, and you're like, and I hated what I saw in the mirror, that would be before, first part of the video, right? And then if you're like, I tried everything, okay? You might say, I decided to try this stuff after doing a ton of research. I was skeptical. So you don't have all the information. This would be the call to action solution. You say, it helped me drop X pounds and I feel more confident than ever. And then last, a call to action, right? It could be drop coupon for the supplement I used, right? It could be anything, or you cannot use a call to action. So you don't have to. It's totally up to you. Sometimes not having a call to action actually gets people really interested because they're like, what stuff? A really good curiosity video or post is when people are like, what is that? What is she talking about? Because they're so curious. They want to comment. Like, what the heck? What is that? So you can try both ways, but I really like to do it without too. So there'll be people like drop info for more information, right? And then people be like, info. Or you can say nothing. And people be like, what is that stuff? What is that stuff? What is that stuff? It is so crazy. So that video, you guys, got 300,000 views. She had something like 1.8K likes, I think.
Wow.
She ended up selling over 75,000 last month using 15-second videos like that. And that's the framework. Before, call to action / solution, or before solution and then call to action. So it's like,
so Jordan,
guys,
what would
so
you say to people? Like, I know my answer, but what would you say to people that will say, well, I didn't lose a bunch of weight, or I don't sell a product that has some crazy result, or I didn't have the crazy result, but I know other people that did. So what would be your answer to those people?
There's so many ways. There's so many ways you can do it. You can share someone else's story. So I have videos where I'm sharing my best friend's story, right? Where I'm like, I was skeptical about this stuff. And then my best friend lost X amount of pounds. I guess I should try it, right? And then people are like, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? It doesn't even have to be your story, but it doesn't have to be even extreme. You can literally say, I lost a pant size so far.
Ooh, that's
I'm
good.
so excited. And then people, what is it? What is it? What is it? So it's not that it has to be this extreme, crazy story. It's just that you got results. And bonus points if you say, like, I was skeptical. You know why? Because it decreases resistance because everyone is skeptical. So if you can address that, you are skeptical to be like, oh yeah, me too. It decreases resistance. Then you're like, oh, but then this happened. So I'm telling you, every single one of my videos, you'll notice I like kind of hate on it in the beginning. And then I'm like, but this happened. And then people are like, oh my God. So,
well, it's funny because back in the day, when we do like live in-person presentations, we would confront the things that we know people were thinking in the presentation. You couldn't say, some excuse about money or time because we already addressed that in the presentation or on the call or on the webinar. So you confront all the objections or excuses that people give you, or you confront the obvious, like, the skeptic or it's just funny how like you can take, and it's just psychology, right? This is like common sense, right? This is the most, effective way to market, but just relate to the person watching, like get into their brain. And you already know what most people are thinking, like it's expensive, or they don't want to get their hopes up. They've read reviews online that were negative. And so you can literally confront whatever it is, and not in every video, but like you can make videos that touch on a specific pain point, a specific, excuse or objection. You could respond to questions that people are asking in the comments to create a brand new video and use that video as a way to drive people to the original video and vice versa. It's like so smart. And that those questions, those objections are going to come up. So why not address them? Why not call them out? Because you already know people are thinking it. And it's more relatable. It just shows that like you actually understand your audience.
Yeah, that's exactly right, John. You're overcoming the objections before people say them, before they even come out of their mouth. You do that all. So I had to, like you, I had to do a bunch of business presentations and three-way calls and all this stuff in my first company. Not anymore. No, no, no. It was not duplicatable. And it just was exhausting. But I used to do all that stuff. And so I had to get really good at overcoming objections in the presentation. So when you're sharing about the business, you're like, and I was so busy and I was like, there's no way I could do it, but here's what I found. Like you're overcoming. So yeah, doing that in your videos is so freaking powerful because then people be like, oh yeah, I was thinking that. I was thinking that it's probably not going to freaking work. But then, oh, look, it did, right? Or I was thinking, I don't have enough time for this, but it's just a tablespoon a day. Like whatever it is that so those are the type of lists you should be making.
Yeah.
Not thinking you need to be original and come up with your own content, get ideas from other people, help solve their problems, right? By doing quick Google searches, stuff like that. And then make a list of people's pain points, your pain points, and then also people's objections, and then just touch on them. Just touch on them. Not to convince people, just to say, I had this objection. Here's what happened. Because people can tell when you're trying to sell them. So if you're like, don't worry, you don't have to have a lot of time. They're like, okay. But if you're like, I had zero time and I have made an extra income from home, right? And then people are like, oh, I felt like I was too busy, but maybe I can. Do you see? It's so powerful. And you're right. There's so many ways you can use that, but that's a really good point. That's a good point.
It's the same thing in scripts, right? When we create scripts, we tell people to, customize it, personalize it. So you're talking about your why, your reason for starting this product, starting on this company, because people relate to people. And when you're telling your story and you're talking about like your kids, or you're talking about, your job and how stressful it was, and, you're overworked, underpaid, or you're talking about like, your bills, or, whatever it is, right? You were stressed that your parents are in their 70s and they're still working and you wanted to help them out, or you want to put your kids in private school because the public school is just out of control, whatever it is, right? And when you're telling your story, there's going to be people that are going to be like, I resonate with that story. I resonate with this person. I feel like I trust them. They speak my language. And, sometimes when people are trying to figure out their personal brand and who they're trying to reach and who they're trying to communicate with, they really get caught up in overthinking this. And I know even I do this, but, it's just like, who were you a year ago? Who were you a month ago or 5 years ago? Like, talk to that person, like literally picture who you used to be and give yourself advice, right? Who you used to be, or, think of maybe certain people that are in your network. And like, I would come up with videos and I would sometimes think of someone that's like pissing me off, like one of my buddies that was like real skeptical or negative. And like, it's crazy, but I would literally make a video thinking about them. I'm basically talking to them, even though they'll probably never watch the video, but in my mind, I'm thinking of them. And that would be like a video that would like blow up because so many people are like, dude, amen. Like you said exactly what I was thinking. And it's just funny because the video was actually made for like, I'm thinking of this one person. And by the way, that's another piece of advice when you're making videos, you're creating content, talk to one person. Don't make it about you, make it about them. Make it about that one person. And it was crazy how like, over time, and I know you experience the same thing as you start creating these videos and you're talking to that one person, because there's so many people that can relate to that one person or that reason why you're doing the business or why you got on the product, whatever. You find there's so many other people that are just like you or just like that person you're thinking of. And it becomes a very effective marketing strategy to really get the right people. Because you don't want everybody. Some people think, oh, these products are for everyone. Everyone wants to be healthy. Everybody wants to make money. Yeah, but you don't relate to everyone. That's just the bottom line. You're not going to relate. Like you think in your mind, like, oh, my story and what I got going on, I'm going to relate to other people. But really you should try to talk to, especially when you first get started, you should really try to talk to that type of person that if you were to hang out with them, if you were to get on a phone call with them, if you were to connect with them one-on-one, like it would be easy to talk to them because you speak the same language.
Yeah. And I will say, because you asked my tip and I shared it, but I do want to say this last tip too. You're 100% right about that because that's attraction marketing, right? You're attracting people like you. You're repelling people not like you. This is the last thing I will say, okay? My challenge is called Viral Video Challenge, right? My masterclass is called Viral Video Masterclass. However, you can't go, and I said this before, but you can't go into the mindset of I want to go viral and you can't put a timeline on it. So you can't be like, if I don't get a bunch of customers or I'm not doing what this girl's doing and she's selling this amount of money, blah, blah, blah. No, you can't do that because where you're at in your story and with your marketing journey and your learning is going to be very different than where I'm at. I've been at this 8 years. However, it is the only way I know where if you continue to show up, you could get in front of thousands or millions of people. So you need to not take it seriously and not have like a timeline or a set expectation for results with this. Here's the truth. You have to start at suck. Like you do. You're going to suck at it. I don't know if you said this or who says this, but you have to be willing to suck at something long enough to get good at it, period. Yeah. So when it comes to videos, you're going to make some really crappy videos. Like, it's fine. Who cares? Embrace the suck and laugh at it and like enjoy the journey. Have fun. Right. Like, if you're taking it too seriously, like, what's the point? What's the point anyway? So,
well, by the way, it goes back to relatability too. It goes back to relatability because people are going to see like a year from now, you have this big following or whatever amount of time. And then you're like, dude, go look at my videos at the beginning though. And they're gonna be like, oh, wow, okay. So I see how like your journey unfolded and your first few videos didn't do well. But at the same time, what's funny is they might actually see those old videos have a lot of views too. But that's only because the newer videos blew up and it blows up the old ones. That's why you never delete videos because you just never know. But anyway, great advice. You got to think long.
By the way, you guys, sorry, John.
Okay, good.
I totally forgot. I keep going. By the way, you guys, anyone who does get a spot, drop I got mine or say I signed up in the comments because I'm going to do a giveaway for cash for someone who gets a spot too. Okay. So say I signed up in the comments. Maybe I'll do this through tomorrow, but
let's do 24 hours. I like it. I'll give away some cash too. Cash money is always a good thing to give away.
Yes.
24 hours.
So
I like it.
Anyway, yeah, John, you're amazing. You guys just remember, like, don't take it so seriously. Have fun with it. And your mindset should always be like, I want to try and fail forward and put out as many B- videos as I can. Because if you're thinking like, I'm only going to post the most perfect videos, or I'm only going to send the most perfect messages. And this is something Bob Heilig said that totally changed my life because I'm a perfectionist. I don't know if any of you can relate. Then you're only going to send like maybe 2 perfect messages. You're only going to put up maybe 1 perfect quote unquote video. And maybe it still bombs and you're like, oh, I hate myself.
Right. And that's the other thing. Like, you think it's perfect and it's like tumbleweeds.
No. And you just wasted so much time, like so much time. Find a video that inspires you, recreate it with your own spin, press post and pray, period. Learn from what works and what doesn't. Analyze your videos that do the best, make more videos like that, and fail forward. And then you can help so many more people. So if you're not putting up your videos because you're like, oh, I'm worried about what people are going to think about me. I'm worried I'm going to suck. You are. Like, it's okay. Who cares? And there probably are going to be people who judge you for it. Like, who cares? You can also help more people. So don't worry more about what you look like than you worry about helping people.
That's right.
Okay? You can't. So that's my best advice. Their
opinions don't pay your bills. So tell them,
right.
Shush.
That's right. Unless
Jordan,
you want to trade bank
y'all,
accounts.
listen, I would highly recommend you register for this challenge, mylifestyleacademy.com/viral. I know we're live in a bunch of different groups, so we probably missed a bunch of comments. I think Desi probably responded to a couple of you that are winners. So we'll help you get your challenge for free. And then also in the next 24 hours, we'll pick some cash winners. Jordan will pick some cash winners as well. Those of you that are sharing and tagging people. And Jordan, I appreciate you. I'm super excited for people to be a part of this viral challenge. And for those of you that are really serious, get involved in her masterclass as well, because I know she's very easy to listen to. How many of us have noticed that? She's very good at teaching. She knows her stuff. She's very detail oriented. She put a ton of time into this program to make it absolutely perfect for all of you to help elevate your results and really help more people within your organization create more customers, more sales, more volume, and build a following generating these short form videos. So Jordan, you're the best. I appreciate you.
Thank you, John. I appreciate you. And I'm excited to hear all of your guys' testimonies.
Yes. All right, y'all. Hasta luego. Happy Money Monday. Let's get it.